Usborne has so many great books that your entire family can enjoy, and I'm really excited to share with you some of my family's favorites. For my 6-month-old, I really love On the Farm. This is a tummy time book, so what it does is it folds out like this, and then you set it on the ground so that when they're doing tummy time, it's actually a little bit enjoyable. So on one side it has a color picture, and then the other side it's black and white. Really bold pictures so that the baby's eyes can focus. Then we have our That's Not My series. This is That's Not My Dragon. We're really well known for these books. We have over 30 in the series right now. This is That's Not My Dragon. It's a little mouse talking in each of these books, and he's saying, "That's not my dragon, its ears are too fluffy." And each page talks about why this isn't his dragon, and it has a new touchy-feely texture. "That's not my dragon, its tail is too prickly." And then the last page tells you why that's your dragon. "That's my dragon, its wings are so scaly." Even my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old are always asking me when we're going to get more That's Not My books. They love to read them to their baby brother. And then my 3-year-old really likes the Peek Inside books. These are nonfiction books, but they don't feel like they're learning. These are great books because they're going to want to read them at bedtime. So many fun flaps. This is our newest in the series. We have 6 different Peek Inside books now. And look how fun that is. My 3-year-old loves all of them, but we really like this dinosaur one that's brand new. But this is my 3-year-old's all-time favorite. I recommend this to everybody because it's so fun. Kids really love it. It's called All Better, and it's about these little animals who get injured and they need a Band-Aid. It has these 5 reusable Band-Aid stickers, and if they start to lose their stick a little bit, all you do is rinse them in water and they are as good as new. So, oh no, dog wasn't looking where he was going. Ouch! Clean it, kiss it, put a bandage on it. All Better. We've gone out of stock of this book 4 different times this year, and we finally have it back in stock again, but it's just that popular. My 5-year-old is really into the scary stuff right now, so he likes these fact cards. This one's about sharks. Each card has a picture of the shark, and then it tells you a whole bunch more information about him, but his favorite part is to see how big the shark is. He likes to find the biggest sharks, and there's even a couple that are smaller than your hand. I had no idea there were 50 different kinds of sharks. My 5-year-old also really loves the big books. This is the Big Book of Big Monsters. So with the big books, we have, I think, 8 or 9 in this series. They're really cool. Kids love them, and what makes them a big book is the pages fold out to make these huge, huge pictures. So it has dragons, it has sea serpents, mythical creatures, legends. They're just so cool. But we have animals, bugs, stars and planets, trains, trucks. So many different options in this series. Now onto my favorite. I love the illustrated stories. So we have illustrated stories, and then we have illustrated originals. And the difference is the illustrated originals are complete and unabridged versions of the story. So this is Little Women, and I bought this for myself, and I'm really excited to read it. But it's just full of illustrations, and it's such a great way to introduce classics to kids at a young age. And they have these ribbon bookmarks, and these covers are nice and padded. They feel so nice and so special. And then we have the illustrated stories. We have so many different books in this series. We have illustrated stories from Aesop, Grimm's Fairy Tales, Princes and Princesses. There's so many. I can't even think of all of them right now. But they have all these awesome illustrations. And I mean, my 5-year-old knows who Perseus is because of this book. It's such a cool way to introduce your kids to stuff that they normally wouldn't pick up. They're so cool. I can't get enough of those books. I also really love the Look Inside series. These are Lift the Flap books, but they're not your average Lift the Flap book. They are crazy. They have so many cool flaps to lift, and everything's in. They just have bite-sized chunks of information, so it's easy for kids to understand and learn. And when their fingers are involved in learning, they remember things more. But look inside the jungle. There's a whole bunch in this series, but this one's probably my favorite right now. You can just look at this. Flaps within flaps within flaps. They're so cool. Those are great. I had my husband pick out a couple of books that he thought were really cool. And he picked out Lift the Flap, Computers and Coding. This is one of our newer releases. And if you have a little kid who is really interested in how things work or loves computers, this would be an awesome book. There is so much information in here, so much to learn. I didn't know most of the stuff in here. It talks about how computers work, how they think, programming, binary numbers, how to set up, how to work, how websites work. They're so cool. The things that they come up with to help kids learn is just amazing. My 5-year-old loves to look at this book, even though he doesn't really, understand yet what it's talking about. He still loves to look through it, and I think that's great. And then the last book I want to show you, this my husband picked this out, but it's also one of my favorites. It's Lift the Flap Picture Atlas. I've always loved maps, and this is so cool. It goes through all of the different continents. It has little facts about different cities, talks about the biggest things in that continent. There's South America, and then we're into Europe, and it's so cool. And in the back, it has this huge map of the world, and it has all the flags for all the countries. Every single flag. Great book. I hope that gave you some ideas of some books that you might like for your family.